and the Knicks were great last night, along with Michelle Smallman, Myron Metcalf, a.k.a. Father First, in for Chris Canty today. Evan Cohen with you. Smalls, good morning. Myron, good morning. How are you guys today?
Good morning, Ev. Good morning, Myron. How are we doing? Lover of fine silks as well.
That's true.
I'm doing well. Thank you all for all the DMs I get, by the way, that just say Father First and nothing else. So that's all you all who did that. So I appreciate it.
For those who don't know the reference, Myron Metcalf, of course, ESPN.com writer, Matt and Myron, Sundays 10 a.m. Eastern Time, here on ESPN Radio with Matt Jones. Why are we calling him and why have we called him Father First? He is a father, correct? You are a father.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But Father First, why, Smalls?
Because Myron Metcalf has the single greatest Instagram bio that has ever been created.
Wow, ever. Of all time?
Number one.
GOAT bio?
It is the Michael Jordan of Instagram bios.
Wow.
Shall I read
Jordan
it?
I think you're going to have to now.
Okay. You can follow him at Myron Metcalf.
Yep,
Sports writer by day, adventurous homeboy by night.
Okay.
Father First. Minneapolis area, Milwaukee born. UFC/boxing fan. Lover of foreign films, fine silk.
Pat Costello, credit to him, our producer, who's not here today for his sister's wedding. He's out the next couple of days. But Pat realized that Myron's bio has Father First, third.
Yep.
Which is just the greatest.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the greatest observation maybe ever. And led to you calling his Instagram bio the Michael Jordan of IG bios.
But my question to you, Myron, and I don't know if I've ever asked you this, when you say lover of fine silk, does that mean that you wear fine silk often, or you're just appreciating it on others?
No, I knew a dude who used to dabble in silk growing up, so that's where that came from. He was
the Shocker.
No, not Silk the Shocker, who was also cool. But I knew a dude who was into silk, and I always just appreciated the idea of fine silk. So that's a real thing. I knew a dude who had like a store and he was into silk. So yeah, silk's great. And then there's the group silk. Silk's amazing. I think all around.
Group silk?
Yeah, it's like an R&B group, right?
Oh, the group. Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant like group. Multiple people wearing silk is what I thought you meant there. I'm like, that's an odd thing. Okay.
So, Myron,
to each his own.
Follow up. Were you ever a patron of the fine silk store, or did you just appreciate it from afar?
I'm just now getting to a point where I can get into silk. So I think it's a future venture for me. It was more of a dream, I would say, Michelle. My hope is maybe now I'm at the stage where I can really dabble in silk the way I've always wanted to.
What's stopping you?
You know what? You can only wear it at certain occasions. And I'll tell you what else, judgment, right? If you just show up in silk, all of a sudden people start talking. So I don't know. I want to be in an environment where I'm accepted for how I feel about silk.
Let the people talk, Myron. They're probably jealous. They're probably whispering like, look at this guy and this quality material. He's somebody. Maybe I need to stand up a little straighter.
Yeah, but once you start wearing silk, when you're black after like 40, I got to get a Cadillac too. I got to get, like the whole outfit, the Kango hat. Like, I don't know if I'm ready.
Oh, you can't just stop there. It's not just.
It's like a wholesale lifestyle change.
I got to I got to follow Earth, Wind, and Fire on tour. So I don't know if I'm at that stage of my life
too
yet,
much
but I'm getting there. It's a big investment.
Well, what you learn already 4 minutes into the show, that Myron Metcalf is on the all Brian Windhorst team for Michelle Smallman, which means she could sit there and listen to anything you say about anything, and she's mesmerized by it. So let's make sure we get through the next 2 days without you just sitting there mesmerized by every answer that comes out of Myron's mouth.
Did you not just learn a lot about your teammate?
He's
and
unbelievable.
His love of fine silk?
He's fascinating, but you go to another level of just like, wait, what? Tell me more, please.
Because I'm not only intrigued to learn more about Myron, but he is truly the only person I have ever met in my life that is a fine silk enthusiast. So I have some questions.
And I appreciate it. I appreciate the support from Michelle. Evan, I don't know if I get as much from you.
I don't support you.
More.
That's right.
It's less support.
No,
I appreciate
I'm anti-Myron.
That's
what I am with Myron.
He doesn't support it.
Yeah, that's right. 108-102 Knicks win last night. I was really impressed with this win by the Knicks last night. I was actually way more impressed with this win than I was with Game 1. And the Knicks destroyed the Sixers with Game 1. Why?
Because of the back and forth nature of the game?
Well, Embiid being out is like, okay, Sixers have nothing to lose kind of thing. Do the Knicks take them for granted? Like, oh, we'll be fine. Then Mitchell Robinson's out. Like, we're good to go. And the Knicks never acted that way. And I was just really impressed. Embiid out, which we'll get to in a second. But Brunson with 26 points, 6 assists. OG, who got hurt late in this game, potential hamstring injury, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals. Cat had 20 points, almost a triple-double. I thought the biggest shot of the game was Mikal Bridges late, up 4, under 3 minutes to go, 103-99. The play is like helter-skelter all over the place, and then he hits a shot to put them up 6. I just thought the ability to hold Philly to 12 points in that fourth quarter and just kind of do your job late in this game, Smalls, I was really impressed with the Knicks, and that is a championship caliber win last night. Win the games you're supposed to win and never lose a game like that. And I understand that you could say, well, of course they won, Embiid's out. Yeah, but it was kind of one of these games. It was back and forth, all the lead changes.
25.
Yeah, Philly had nothing. Philly tried things with Dominic Barlow playing center and switching on to Brunson, and give Jalen Brunson all the credit in the world. Hit big shot after big shot, as we're showing on ESPN2, over Barlow. He does what you're supposed to do as a shooter. Arc. I just was really impressed with the Knicks last night, Smalls.
I was really impressed with them as well. And you knew, or at least I expected, that you were going to get a different version of Philly after game 1. This was before I found out Embiid was even out, but you just assumed that after the physical nature and the grueling length of that series versus Boston, that in game 1 they were a little flat and they looked the part. So I expected a more rested version of Philly that was going to have different things in the bag to throw at the Knicks. And then you find out Embiid is out. And to your point, Ev, I thought, oh, well, the nature of game 1, Embiid out in game 2, this is going to be light work for the Knicks, but it wasn't. 25 lead changes in this game, the most in a playoff game in 11 years, 14 ties in this one. Neither team led by more than 7 points, and the Knicks had an answer. It was a fight, and they came out on top. It was a very impressive output for New York last night, Myron.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at Philly, it's the same Philly team that beat Boston in game 1. So, I mean, they played without Embiid a bunch. So I think you got to give the Knicks credit for how they won that fight, especially Jalen Brunson down the stretch. The OG injury could be a concern going forward. And I think that was a quality win. But I'm not surprised. Like, this is the same team that took Indiana to 7 games. If they don't get to the finals, I think you still look at this season as a miss. So the Knicks have much bigger goals going forward.
Yeah, but they should get to the finals. I mean, the way they're playing right now, no?
They're the favorite.
They have to, though.
They
have to.
There's no. You fired Tibbs. You have to get there.
Yeah, Mike Brown fails this season if they don't get to the finals. Like, we can't talk about this team like they're some underdog. And I think that, to me, is my challenge with the narrative on the Knicks. Great wins, but this is what we expected from them. Now let's see if they can finish.
Well, the OG injury plays a huge role in this. I don't think it plays a huge role in this series. I think they'll be fine in this series. I do not see Philadelphia coming back in this series personally, with or without OG Anunoby on the court. He got hurt with an apparent leg injury. OG, unfortunately, the nature of his career is when he's healthy, the guy's awesome. That's not a lot, unfortunately, in terms of the number of games he's missed over the course of his career. And OG Anunoby being out, and I've called him the best player on the team.
He's been spectacular for them.
My take has looked good in this series, in this postseason, I will say. Now, I understand that Brunson hits big shot after big shot. And I still don't understand why Philadelphia is not attacking him every single offensive possession. It makes no sense to me. But if OG is out for any period of time, could this series be lost? Are you already saying, Myron, for me, this series is over. OG's injury, I'm worried about him guarding Cade Cunningham or Donovan Mitchell if he needs to in the next round.
Yeah, I don't think it's over. I mean, especially if you tell me Embiid's back. We saw his monster performances in the first series, but I do think the Knicks have an edge. I think OG is the guy that really completes the team. And I do think they're a different team without him, but I think they can beat Philly if for some reason he's unavailable. I don't know that they can get to the finals without him. But let's see what's up with Embiid if he's healthy and if he can give them another monster performance like he did in the last series.
Yeah, obviously those 2 injuries are going to dictate the complexion of this series moving forward. But, Evan, you said OG was the best player for the Knicks, and I don't know if I would go best, but I would say certainly most consistent. I would say certainly a catalyst for them in so many ways. Yeah. And, if he is going to miss some time, I still would pick the Knicks to win, not only because...
This series or...
This series.
Okay.
I still would pick the Knicks to win, but I think it will be much closer and much more of a fight.
No question. No, and obviously the Embiid injury, I texted our group chat the other night saying, like, he looks like he's hurt. And I don't know that they made anything of it on the broadcast. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm saying it was like a weird thing because he always looks hurt, but his ankle and hip, and who knows if he plays in a Game 3 Friday. Mitchell Robinson also didn't play last night for the Knicks. Myron, you said you don't like this underdog narrative from Knicks fans as if like they have some hurdle here because they are a top seed. They were there last year, etc. So let's go to someone who is actually promoting that underdog narrative. Let's go live to Bristol, Connecticut, a.k.a. Vegas East, and Juan Nuno, a producer of this show. Do you still look at the Knicks as an underdog, and are you concerned now that OG could be banged up?
So there's two different things, right? Like to your question is, I think yesterday was a huge win for them, a huge confidence win, because there was points in that game, especially when Maxey starts going off in that second quarter and Towns picks up his third foul. He is playing well and he picks up his third foul, and I'm like, that game could have gone away from them. Mm-hmm. It didn't.
No.
Even Jalen Brunson made a huge play late in that game in that quarter. So that part of it and showing that toughness and that, hey, we can win almost at any style, like especially if we're not hitting our threes. And then the other point is the OG. They will need OG for the rest of this playoffs. Maybe not necessarily in this game, like this series, but either with the Cavs or the Pistons, and obviously if they're fortunate enough, through all the hurdles that they have to face as a spunky underdog to get to the finals.
Uh-oh.
What'd you say?
Spunky underdog, Myron.
Spunky underdog. You
go off, Myron. Go for it.
Spunky underdog. Listen, you fired Tiz because you said he wasn't good enough to get you to the finals. You brought in Mike Brown, who Sacramento had fired, and you said this is the guy, right? If they don't get to the finals, this to me is a failure of a season, and it's a failure of a coaching hire because that's the only task that Mike Brown has. But I'm not going to call the Knicks some underdog. This isn't some Disney movie that we're talking about. They were viewed as a contender coming into the playoffs. They were viewed as a team that maybe should get to the finals. Now here we are. You got to prove it, but they're no underdogs. Spunky underdog?
Spunky.
Absolutely.
You got to use spunky in that. It's spunky underdog from Juan Nuno on this one. I think that Mike Brown has already proven to be a good coach for them. Like, I don't think that you have to get to the finals to justify the Mike Brown hiring.
I think you absolutely do.
Mike Brown has been to the finals.
What's the point of doing it, though?
Correct.
Because Tom Thibodeau is not a finals coach. You saw it in Minnesota. Tom Thibodeau is a great coach. He's not going to get you to the finals. Mike Brown can get you to the finals. And even if he doesn't,
has to do it.
Right,
we have to see him do it.
But it's not like Tibbs would have if Mike Brown wouldn't have been Yeah, I do. Based on track record.
That's the argument. I don't know if that's the argument. You brought him in because you said we got to the cusp of the NBA Finals, and this guy wasn't good enough to get us where we wanted to go. So enter Mike Brown. Like, there's no other job description for Mike Brown than get us to the finals. And if he doesn't do that, the hire doesn't make sense.
More on that coming up. Yeah. Myron is based in Minnesota. Okay, Minnesota.
It's in the bio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Myron's team that he is near last night, they were asleep. Just like Myron, probably late night, getting up early. And then, you know what? He went to sleep when the T-Wolves did last night. We will get to that after I tell everybody about ZipRecruiter. Think about the kind of